Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be breaking down Brock Purdy's throwing motion, and we're going to start the video right now. This is the newest edition of the Performance Lab. Reach your individual goals. You don't want to just talk about straight line speed. We also want to talk about your ability to be quick. We break down your video. Let's make you into the quarterback I know you can become. All right, so Brock Purdy has quickly become one of the biggest sensations within the NFL. Somebody that went to Iowa State, obviously, everyone who is probably watching this video knows about his story, Mr. Irrelevant. I actually got recommended to do this video before when he was at Iowa State, and I really, I didn't watch too much of Brock Purdy, but I just felt like at Iowa State, he didn't do anything spectacular. And even for the 49ers, I mean, as much as he is kind of a big part of their success right now, he's not doing anything amazingly. He's not like the next Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, anything like that. But he is kind of like and I don't want to be disrespectful here, but almost like a Kirk Cousins type of person. But that still is obviously very, very successful in the NFL. Not to take anything away from somebody like that. And today we're going to just be going over his throwing mechanics, his throwing motion, and look into some of the key things that we see. So what we do within these breakdowns, and the concept of these breakdowns, if this is the first time you're watching one of these videos, is to give you a great understanding of what are the mechanics necessary to get the most out of the throw. How can you maximize your mechanics to the best of your ability? And so, what we're going to do here is we're going to look at some of his throws here. What stands out to me is, and we'll just go through that one. That one's not a great view. I really wanted to be able to see this view. So it stands out is, and we just start at this point, but look at his wrist position, right? So at this point, we can already see two big things that we see time and time again with the top quarterbacks, right? Is the hips are already turned, right? He's already created rotation within that lower body. That's one. And then the second thing is that the nose of the football is already pointed to the side. So, the two most common mistakes that I see, and you can see how that really has a positive impact on his ability to be able to get around through that hip, around through the spine, and then be able to get the wrist in a good position to be able to effectively throw the football, being able to get up on top of the ball, right? And then be able to get a good, strong wrist flick. That ends up being critical, okay? And, what I was saying is that the two main mistakes that I see with quarterbacks is that they are fast in rotating or getting their weight to go forward, right? Too quick in shifting all of their weight forward onto that front leg. And also, right, so we can see with him, he's here, and he's rotating, he's keeping his weight back. Another example of a quarterback keeping his weight back. And not able to get the wrist in a good position as they're releasing the ball, right? And we talk a lot about, me included, we talk a lot about the importance of your ability to shift your weight forward, right? Your ability to throw on a good, stable kind of front leg, right? The importance of the front leg when you're throwing the football. But what we really want to be able to see when it comes to actually playing quarterback at a high level is it's not as much about the front leg and what you're doing with the front leg, but instead how well you're able to rotate within the hip. Okay, and another key point that we've been talking more about is to go off of that is that when we're seeing the quarterbacks get really good rotation within that lower body, right, and starting that rotation with the hips, right? You can see how he's here and how fast he's getting those hips around. So he lands with that front foot here, right? Lands with his front foot probably around right there, and then continues that rotation in that lower body, right? So the importance of rotation within the hip, but also the importance of creating a lot of rotation within the spine, being able to be great with that. Let's take a look here at his release time. Okay, so we go here, we see he's here, boom. He loads back at 4.5, right, 0.45, and he's got the ball out by 7.5, right, 0.3 seconds. Okay, probably even less than 0.3 seconds. And so there's a lot of wasted motion that we're seeing with the ball going back behind the head, right, maybe with how we're dropping the ball during the load, right. There's a lot of things that can go into not being effective with the throwing motion. And in order to be great, be able to generate a lot of force within the throw, again, we got to be able to land and keep that weight back, right? He's kind of coming a little bit forward. I would say he could probably keep his weight even further back here in comparison to, you know, the Mahomes, to Josh Allen's, even Jalen Hurts, right? He's kind of a little bit forward with his weight. But from there, right, rotate, okay? So we need to rotate within that lower body, okay? And then a key concept here is, and we talked about this in the live recently, and I think we want to get more and more into this, is that we want to be able to get quick and powerful rotation within the spine. Okay, so what I've realized is that it's not as much about arm velocity, and I talked you know, in the past about the importance of arm velocity, and I don't necessarily think that your arm needs to be slow, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is being able to, you know, not concentrate so much on arm velocity, but instead get a lot of rotation within the thoracic spine to help you in being able to improve the overall mechanics with the throw. So, you know, yeah, that's a big concept when it comes to improving the mechanics, right? Staying back on that back leg. Okay. Whoop, didn't go through with this. Okay, wrist position. Okay, and then spine rotation. We can get those three main things down. We have a lot better opportunity to have a lot of success as a quarterback and be able to consistently build your velocity, your throwing power, improve your throwing mechanics. There's a lot of things that come once we can start to get these three main concepts down. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like the information, like, subscribe, all that type of good stuff. I really appreciate it. You guys can leave me comments down below if you have any recommendations or, you know, just have any general questions about how we can help you with your mechanics. And, you know, as always, check out some of the things that we have in the description down below. You know, we're going into the off season now, so we have that throwing mechanics program, something that you could do from anywhere in the world, where you send a video to me, I break it down, I give you drills, I give you exercises. We've seen some tremendous improvement with quarterbacks who could really get an idea, coach that could give you feedback on how it is that you can improve your mechanics. And you know, not only has this made a big difference for people in the United States, but it's really made a big difference for people all over the world, down in South America. You know, shout out to Brazil, Mexico, and then also obviously in Europe. I know it's becoming a lot bigger in, you know, Germany, Australia, United Kingdom, even Canada. And I mean, that's North America, but you know, still all these other countries are seeing a lot more people that are getting a lot of interest in the game of football and wanting to get better coaching. And I think there's no better way to be able to really connect to what it is that you're doing mechanic-wise as when you can actually see the mistakes. Once you can see it, then you can understand it, you can connect to it, and then again, we give you drills, we give you exercise, we give you solutions to the problem. And you know, that's the big thing with me, is like, there's a ton of different ways to be able to solve the specific problems, right? There's not just one way or one correction to make a lot of times with the throwing mechanics. There's wrist, there's elbow, there's shoulder range of motion, there's shoulder strength, there's wrist strength, there's lower body range of motion, right? The ability to internally rotate, externally rotate, balance, core strength, right? There's so many things that going into playing quarterback well, stability, right? Being able to hold certain positions. And so once we can start to get a feel for what's going on, a lot of what the background is more biomechanics. And so, you know, we can get you into the exercise, we can get you into the drills, we can get you into positions where, you know, at least in my opinion, a lot of quarterback coaches don't have that same background, so they don't know what other solutions to provide. Where because of my background being in that physical therapy kind of training background, a lot of the solutions can be addressed by correcting issues in the body and really connecting that within the throw. So again, as always, thanks for watching. If you're still watching right now, like the information, click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.